First of all, we want to convey that the relationship is more important than conduct or achievement. It's not what they do, it's who they are in relationship to us. So we want to, in word, in gesture, in tone of voice, we want to convey to them that it's not behavior that's the bottom line, it's relationship that's the bottom line. We often sense, well, I can't abide by this, but is he still your son? Is he still your daughter? Does it transcend that? Do they know that? Children don't automatically know that. Many times when we get so concerned about behavior, we're not communicating that we're still okay. I'm still your dad. I'm still your mom. The relationship will survive this. We'll get through this. They need to know that. They need to know that. And remember, it's not the fear of a broken relationship that brings them into line. At least it won't happen very often. Maybe the first few times the fear of a broken relationship might bring them in, but then the brain evokes defenses against getting close, and we lose our clout. No longer do we have a child who wants to be good. And so we have this sense, well, if I really say that the relationship is okay, isn't this a kind of giving a permission to misbehavior? Not at all. It's preserving our natural power to be able to do our job. Remember, our power lies inside that relationship. And so we must take care to communicate that the relationship is more important than conduct and achievement. Sometimes the best way to do this is sometimes even is when there is success. When a child has scored the hat trick in the soccer game. And it comes and he's absolutely delighted. And of course it's great to be delighted in him. But it's also important to make the statement that I'm delighted for you, delighted in you, that was so proud of you, and would be okay if you hadn't scored a goal. The opposite is true too, and sometimes the message needs to get across in both the times of failure and the times of success, that the bottom line is never achievement. The bottom line is the relationship, because it's that which is sacred. Secondly, take charge of preserving a sense of connection. Remember that your child needs to have a connection with you at all times. There are many ways that we can preserve a sense of connection. Greetings, goodbyes are a very important aspect of this. Taking care to greet them. And of course, as I said a couple of sessions ago, a greeting is an attachment ritual. It's getting in somebody's space in a friendly way, collecting the eyes, the smiles, and nods. So we're greeting, and greeting after every separation and after there's been some absence, or they've been involved in another activity. And so you greet to preserve the connection. Goodbyes are also important. I don't like the actual term goodbye. It's so final. What goodbyes are meant to be is to bridge the absence. Auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, until we meet again. Some other languages are much better than we are. Ours is so final. There always must be the sense that it is bridging the absence and finding a way of being able to do this, because the greeting says until that now we go on hold in terms of a relationship, but we get back, and then we greet again. The goodbye is that bridge, and having that sense of doing this. We should have rituals around the goodbyes. We do with our preschoolers, do we not? But then when they get to be 9, 10 years of age, we start not doing this. We start forgetting to greet them in the morning, to greet them when we come back. We come home from work, and we should engage in reestablishing that connection. Exactly. If we go off to our office or to the kitchen, or et cetera, and don't make those connections, we're not working the relationship. We're not preserving that contact. It's important to preserve that contact. The good nights, even for the adolescents, and the good mornings. Don't let them drift off. These are very, very important ways of being able to bridge absences. For the ones that have a hard time holding on to you, maybe in school, the notes in the lunchbox, the reminders, a picture of you that they can keep. For the girls, maybe in a locket, something, you know, the way, again, lovers do. All kinds of ways. They have so many ways that they preserve a sense of connection with each other. And yet they're adults. If that is true for them, how much more should we be, in a sense, moms and dads, the best lovers of all, in the sense of being able to preserve a sense of connection, thinking always of them, that they need to be able to hold on to us. Again, it comes from a place of that natural arrogance, that I am your best bet. You need to have that kind of, preserve that connection. And it's assuming responsibility for that. Thinking just of an example of this, one mother that was very, very creative, the son very attached to her and having a great difficulty with the 2-week absences because of split parenting. And mom finally figured out what to do. Put some of her perfume on the pillow and gave it to him in terms of to take with him. And it made all the difference in the world. He was able to keep his mom close. He could just run to his pillow, have a sniff of the perfume, and there was that sense of connection. There are so many ways that we can do this. We just simply have to assume the responsibility and let our creativity reign. Once we know what the issue is, then we can find ways to solve that problem.